Welcome. Okay, I'm guilty. I have always loved peanut butter and jelly. I don't eat it like I used to, but how healthy is it? And that's the question we're going to learn today. There are three ingredients: bread, peanut butter, and jelly. So let's briefly talk about the nutrition of bread first. Now, there's white bread and rich bread, which I don't recommend. That's been stripped from the fiber, the nutrients, and that will really make your glucose levels burst. It will make your insulin levels burst straight up. And that can lead to potential insulin resistance, prediabetes, because you are putting a burden on your pancreas. So when we look at bread, we want to go with our whole grain bread. That is definitely one of our best options because the whole grain kernels have three parts. It has the bran, the endosperm, as well as a germ, and the fiber is there. And the fiber is what's important that actually slows digestion down and helps balance out our glucose levels. On the other hand, we have sprouted whole grain bread, which is your Ezekiel bread, which is excellent, which is even better than whole grain because it has more fiber and a lot more nutrients. But the important thing about bread is how much bread you're eating. And one thing you want to be certain about your breads is that it's not high in the glycemic index. White and rich bread will be high on the glycemic index. That means it's going to take those breads and convert it into glucose rapidly. It's going to surge your glucose and insulin levels. And that's going to lead to increased fat as well as inflammation. The foods that are highest in fiber, particularly whole grain breads, are going to be lower, much lower in the glycemic index, which is going to slow the absorption of digestion. It's not going to spike your insulin or glucose levels. The peanut butter. What type of peanut butter are you putting in there? Is it peanut butter that's been added with other sugars, other preservatives, or excessive salts? 2 tablespoons contains about 7 grams of protein, 16 grams of fats, and 2 grams of fiber. Now, peanut butter is not an animal product. It's high in unsaturated fats. It will help lower cholesterol, and it is known to help improve heart health. And when it comes to the peanut butter, the oil sometimes can separate away from the peanut butter. Don't pour it out. Mix it together. A little tip for you is you can turn the peanut butter upside down, put it in the fridge, and that will keep it from separating again. And what's peanut butter without putting jelly on it? It's like saying, okay, here's my ice cream, and I can't have my hot fudge. They go really well together. So when we look at the jellies and jams, they have similar nutritional value and taste. There is a slight difference. Jellies are made from fruit juices. Jams are also made from fruit juices with the pulp. There is usually pectin, which is a prebiotic that's added to both of them. That's what gives it its texture. So the important thing I want you to realize is that when you look at the jellies, make sure there's no sugars added, and actually look at the names like the glucose, sucrose, dextrose, fructose. Those are hidden sugar names, but they are sugars. So let's rehash and summarize this peanut butter and jelly sandwich, and then I'll give you the verdict. When it comes to our bread, our whole grains and sprouted grains are best. The enriched breads, white breads, are no good. They're very high on the glycemic index, and that's a problem. When it comes to choosing peanut butter, again, you want to make sure that it doesn't have all that added sugar or even salts. Make sure it's natural and look at the preservatives. When it comes to jams, you want to pick those particularly that don't even have sugar added to it. Some of it will say less added sugar. You still need to look at the ingredients. They can be very tricky when it even says reduced sugars or added sugars. Just be careful. I recommend using other fibers. If it's a banana in there, if it's strawberry slices or raspberries or other berries, put it inside there. Maybe a little bit of chia seeds, ground flax, maybe some hemp seeds to boost the protein content, which maybe have a little crunch to it. But you can actually eat it with veggie sticks or other vegetables. You want that fiber with that peanut butter and jelly sandwich somehow that will really slow up your digestion. It will balance out your glucose and insulin levels. And the verdict is definitely a yes. So, if you were like me in the old days, we had a little paper bag, taking it to school or camp. I remember those beautiful days. This is something that we really never thought about. How healthy is it? Particularly now, because in those days, it was not too healthy. So anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please share it with your friends and family. And most important, make it a great day. I'm Dr. Alan Mandell.